Going on to you, Cancer Crabs. So you have the Justice, Hermit, Queen of Swords, Star, Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Five of Cups, the Emperor, Queen of Pentacles, and you have the Nine of Swords. So the Justice, the Hermit, and the Queen of Swords is about how a lot of you Cancer Crabs let things be exactly what they need to be. You let people think whatever it is that they thought about you in the past and let them win that argument. Let them, chase a ghost in the sense of, even when you were trying to do right by them in the past, let these people ultimately say whatever it is that they wanted to say about you. As long as they're not like trying to get into your life, trying to ruin it. A lot of you Cancer Crabs are allowing these people to do whatever it is, Let them say whatever it is. And the Hermit, you're just walking around with your head held high because you know that you're changing, like I said before, for the better. And you know that, some of the things may be true. Some of those things may not even be true. They may just, they're lying about it. So a lot of you Cancer Crabs may not feel any kind of way about it because you know that that's not what it is that you did. And a lot of you Cancers know that that's not who you are anymore. So the Queen of Swords, so you're able to allow a lot of that stuff that people have said about you in the past, to allow the stuff that people are saying about you now that you've known in the past that you used to talk to, say whatever it is that they're going to say. And you not be in the room or be in the room, and you don't really care about either or. Because the Star card now is about you know exactly the type of people that you're looking for. You're looking for people, number one, for starters, some of the traits that people should have, they should most definitely be mindful, We call it compassion, we call it love, we call it many different things, but mindfulness and love or compassion definitely goes hand in hand because mindfulness, you do have to consider other people, which goes into compassion. And compassion is where we get knowledge from. A lot of times, not just knowledge, but wisdom. It's where we are able to look at things from a bird's eye perspective, right? An overview. And the reason why I'm saying that is because selfishness is good for defense, right? Invincibility, right? Making sure that you're good, making sure that you're preserved. But at some point, you can't be so selfish to the point where it makes you not see the bigger picture and you end up sabotaging yourself based upon your own selfishness. And this is where selfishness can end up essentially getting into play. And what I mean by that is, due to the fact that a lot of you Cancer Crabs are getting to know yourselves, you realize that you want someone that is compassionate, as well as you're trying to be compassionate towards other people. They do have to keep you in mind, just as you are going to keep them in mind, right? Obviously, we know that your love runs deep. We know that, okay? We know that all it is that we need to do is just turn on an episode of Power. We can see Tommy Egan, who's a Cancer Crab, right? Trying to get rid of Tasha. We see it, okay? But at the same time, the Page of Pentacles represents how a lot of you Cancer Crabs are evolving as well. Like, you don't have to get back at people. You don't, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with Scorpio. You don't have to get back at people. All of that getting back at you type stuff is not good. All of that, only me and a person should have known and they should know me by now. All of that type of stuff is played out. And a lot of you Cancer Crabs are realizing that that's played out. Because when you go into a relationship, Cancer, you need to understand that you're sacrificing you for a we. So there has to be incredible mindfulness. Whenever it is that I go outside, do I just go outside and not let my mom know anything? No, I tell my mom, hey, listen, I'm going outside, so that my mom can understand, hey, good communication skills. Don't just sit there And see, that's the problem with Cancer crab sometimes. A lot of, truth be told, one of the biggest secrets to a Cancer crab, truth be told, for any of the cross watchers and for you Cancer crabs that want to understand yourself, a part of the reason why there's a lot of y'all end up making a lot of rash decisions is because y'all don't talk about y'all feelings. Y'all don't talk about that. Nope, y'all don't talk about that. So guess what? Because of the fact that you don't talk about it, that's part of why there's a lot of y'all go haywire. Start doing things that's so out of pocket and so crazy to the point where it's like, yo, what are you doing? Because a lot of that stuff can really be cured and healed up or fixed if you were to have a conversation with somebody. Because a lot of times it's when a Cancer crab is not evolved, it's very easy to insult y'all, and a lot of y'all will not tell the other person if they've insulted you, and that's a problem, because how is the person supposed to know that? How are they supposed to know to make it better? How are they supposed to understand you if they have to read your mind like a Jedi? So the thing about it is that the Two of Wands represents, this is what keeps a lot of people away, because the Five of Cups, and the thing about it is you don't necessarily intend on doing that, but you do that. So this is something that a lot of you Cancer crabs had to learn to nip in the bud and change about yourselves, because the Emperor is about, so now you can do this. Now a lot of you Cancer crabs are doing this, sitting there looking good, because you're in a better place in your life, because now you have more skills. You can communicate. It's not just about a person may have offended you. You can now reach out to the person, whether you're thinking about them and you don't like certain things in a text message or on a phone call, maybe something that you don't really like. You can speak to them face to face and you tell them that this person has offended you. You can have this type of conversation. And if it's a functional relationship, then the conversation will be for something important, not the silly petty stuff. But the thing about it is, but then again too, petty things end up becoming important. But the Queen of Pentacles now represents, as a result, this is where, again, your relationships are going to start to get better. Your relationships, because of this, going to start to get better. And as far as the Nine of Swords, you think that, people from the past are, or potential people from the past may come back, or even more so, people in the future may have a problem with you. As long as you Cancer crabs work on that clear communication, you're able to explain, tell people, you were hurt because of this. What is it that they meant by this? Then you're good. If a person decides to act like you're being a crybaby, or they don't care, or whatever, or make fun of you for it, then you know that those, as long as it's coming from a real place, right? Shouldn't be you just getting upset over everything, right? Obviously. But as long as it's coming from a real place of importance, anybody who tries to make fun of you because of that, obviously you know that you shouldn't be hanging out with these people. And you shouldn't. You should most definitely dub them and run far away from them. But a lot of you may be worried about that, right? Worried about, well, what's going to happen to you in the future. Don't worry about that, because the reason why is because it's a win all the way around. Number one, you're letting the other person know more about yourself. Number two, you're getting something off of your chest. I have Cancer crabs in my own chart as my South Node. And one of the realizations that I've ever came to was from a Cancer crab themselves. More so specifically understanding Cancer crabs. I realized that the self-nourishment that's coming, that I need to attain, yeah, food, but that's specifically a Taurus thing. It's more so about emotional nourishment, feelings nourishment, internal nourishment. And the way that I was able to do that is to go into my own feelings and understand, if I'm offended about certain things, what's making me offended. So as a result, I'm able to decipher not only my own feelings, but understand other people and the nature or the value of what other people thought when they were doing the action, right? whether they're trying to mask it on some nonsense playing their games, because I'm able to understand my own feelings. So this is the gift that a lot of the Cancer crabs have. But sometimes see, I told y'all I don't dislike y'all. Sometimes a lot of y'all look at it wrong, because now y'all start to look at it from a perspective of you getting offended, and you don't realize you need to get in touch with yourselves to understand why you were offended about it. So let's clarify the Emperor. That's where the real that's one of the most empowering things that a Cancer crab has, and one of the most empowering things about the zodiac period. But a lot of y'all will not do that. Some of y'all are learning to do that, which is going to make you even more powerful. But a lot of y'all don't do that, because a lot of y'all get more offended than anything. Told y'all, it's not personal. So the Nine of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords represent, to clarify the Emperor, is about, and once you learn to do that, this is what will have you in a better position, because you'll understand yourselves more, right? And you'll understand to not take everything so offensively, right? To be offended by, and you'll learn that when people are playing games with you, you'll learn what to be offended about and what not to be.